palace. What was she like?
She was incredible. She was always interested in what was going on behind those doors in the kitchen. The princess was a terrible cook. She said that herself, she couldn't cook.
For 26 years, he kept the most explosive royal secrets locked away. But now at 63, former royal chef Darren McGrady is finally breaking his silence. And what he reveals about Queen Camilla will leave you speechless. Tonight, we uncover the truth behind palace walls, a truth so shocking it's sending shockwaves through the monarchy itself. This is the story you were never meant to hear. Darren McGrady wasn't just any royal chef. For over 2 decades, he was the keeper of secrets, the silent witness to history's most dramatic royal moments. Starting as chef number 20 out of 20 at Buckingham Palace in 1982, McGrady climbed the ranks not through ambition, but through something far more precious: trust. He cooked for queens and kings, but it was one woman who truly captured his loyalty, a young, vibrant princess who would change his life forever. Princess Diana, the people's princess. But behind the public smile, behind the royal facade, there was a woman in pain, and McGrady saw it all. McGrady said, "She wasn't just a princess to me. She was Diana, kind, broken, real, and I watched her world crumble from the inside." It was in the quiet moments, away from the cameras and the crowds, that Diana's true struggles emerged. And McGrady was there for every heartbreaking revelation. Picture this. It's a quiet evening at Kensington Palace. The dishes are cleared, the staff has gone home, but Diana lingers in the kitchen, needing someone to listen. McGrady said, "She looked at me with these tired eyes and said, 'I've always known I will never be queen. That girl who took my husband, she will be queen someday.'" Those words, spoken in the safety of her own kitchen, would prove to be prophetic. But they also revealed the depth of Diana's pain, a pain caused by one woman's relentless pursuit of what wasn't hers. Camilla Parker Bowles, the name that haunted Diana's marriage, her dreams, and ultimately, her destiny. McGrady continues, the arguments, you could hear them through the palace walls. And it was always about her, always about Camilla. But McGrady's most shocking revelation was still to come. What happened after Diana's death would change everything he thought he knew about the royal family.
We have reports from Paris that Diana, Princess of Wales, has been killed in a car accident and that her partner, Dodi Fayed, has also been killed.
August 31st, 1997, a date that would forever change the course of history. And McGrady was there, preparing for a reunion that would never happen. Diana was returning from Paris. McGrady had prepared her favorite meal, expecting her home that evening. But fate had other plans. McGrady said, "I thought it was a prank. I kept switching channels, thinking, hoping it wasn't real, but then the palace faxed over her will and I knew. I had her meal ready. It was just sitting there, untouched. She was never coming home." The world mourned. Over 2.5 billion people watched her funeral, but there was someone noticeably absent from that day of mourning. Camilla Parker Bowles. Rumors swirled that she wanted to attend to pay her respects, but Queen Elizabeth reportedly put her foot down. McGrady said it's a good thing she listened to the Queen. The world would never have forgiven her. It would have been like showing up at the scene of a crime you helped create. But McGrady's silence was about to be broken by something far more sinister than anyone could have imagined. What happened next would haunt McGrady for decades. As Camilla moved into Clarence House and later Buckingham Palace, something disturbing began to unfold. It started small, subtle changes that only those who truly knew Diana would notice. McGrady said, Her favorite flowers, forget-me-nots and lilies, they were replaced. Her pastel colors, the feminine touches she'd added to make the palace feel like home, gone. But it was the photographs that broke McGrady's heart. Pictures of Diana with William and Harry, moments of joy and humanity that had lined the palace halls. McGrady said, Camilla would frown whenever she walked past them. She didn't need to say anything. The message was clear. One by one, Diana's photographs disappeared. First moved to less visible spots, then to private rooms, and eventually, McGrady continues, they were all gone. Every single one. It was like Diana had never existed. And that's when McGrady said the words that would send shockwaves around the world. She is pure evil. That's the first thought that came to my mind when I learned everything that had been done to erase Diana from the very home she helped transform. Pure evil. Words that would change everything. For years, McGrady remained silent, building his life in America, running a successful catering company, keeping Diana's secrets locked away, but then came the coronation. May 6th, 2023. King Charles III and Queen Camilla were crowned in a ceremony watched by millions. And McGrady made a comment that would change everything. Time has passed, he said. I believe it's possible to honor the present while still cherishing the past. The backlash was immediate and brutal. Betrayal, Diana's fans cried. You've forgotten her. They accused, but they were wrong. McGrady hadn't forgotten. He'd been carrying the weight of truth for over 2 decades. McGrady said, being accused of betraying Diana's memory, it stirred something deeper, an urge to set the record straight once and for all. And so at 63, Darren McGrady finally broke his silence. The revelations that followed would shake the monarchy to its core. When McGrady finally spoke, his words were not just reflections, they were revelations. And at the center of it all was Queen Camilla. I supported the coronation because I believe in moving forward. But moving forward doesn't mean we bury the truth. It doesn't mean we forget the cost. The cost, Diana's pain, her tears, her broken dreams, all sacrificed on the altar of Charles and Camilla's great love story. McGrady said, Diana made the palace feel alive. There was a warmth in the halls, a kindness. You'd see her walking barefoot into the kitchen, slipping blankets into her car for someone on the street. That light, when Camilla came in, that light went out. But McGrady's most damning revelation was yet to come. The systematic erasure of Diana's memory wasn't just redecorating, it was something far more sinister. McGrady continues, it was calculated. It was cruel. How can someone be so threatened by a memory? It wasn't a woman anymore, it was just a photo. And even that was too much for her. Pure evil. The words that would define a queen. Within hours of McGrady's interview being released, the world exploded. Social media erupted. Thank you for finally telling the truth, one user posted. You've said what so many of us have felt for years. Messages poured in by the thousands. But not everyone was supportive. Critics questioned his timing, his motives, his loyalty. The royal establishment remained silent, following their never complain, never explain motto. Diana's legacy was reignited overnight. Old interviews, videos, and quotes were reposted across platforms. Fan accounts surged. The message was clear. The people's princess was not forgotten. McGrady said, I'm not seeking revenge, only truth. What people do with it is up to them. I just couldn't stay silent anymore. Today, Queen Camilla sits on the throne she always coveted, but McGrady's revelations have cast a shadow over her reign that may never lift. The carefully managed image of a reformed queen faces its most serious challenge yet. Public trust is fragile, and the timing of McGrady's bombshells couldn't be more critical. Some royal commentators predict the monarchy will ride out the storm. Others warn that Camilla's approval ratings may suffer irreparable harm. But perhaps the most important question isn't about Camilla's future. It's about Diana's legacy. Has McGrady's courage to speak out finally given the people's princess the justice she deserved? McGrady said, "I owe her that. After everything she endured, the least I can do is protect her story. All of it, even the uncomfortable parts." The truth is out. The mask can never go back on, and history will remember not just how Diana lived and died, but how she was treated long after her final breath. Darren McGrady's silence is broken. The secrets are revealed, and the world is watching Queen Camilla more closely than ever. Because some truths are too important to stay buried, some voices are too powerful to silence, and some princesses are too beloved to forget. What do you think about McGrady's shocking revelations? Let us know in the comments below, and remember to subscribe for more untold stories from inside the palace walls.